Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Podcast. Today is Wednesday, April 3rd. Feels like November, though. It is April 3rd, 2024, here in southeastern Michigan. Hardcore Podcast is brought to you by CMG Home Loans. 1820 is our MLS number for all of those keeping track this morning. Anyways, I am joined by Lisa Lawson. Good morning, Lisa.
Morning, everybody.
And Mr. Harvey Freed. Good morning, Harvey.
Hey, good morning, team.
Should John and Becky decide to check in, we will get their opinions on what's going on in the market. But today, first off, team, welcome. Good morning. What's going on in your loan world, Lisa?
Just busy. Oh, there's John.
Hi, John. Good morning, John Kolb.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. So, Lisa, I know it's April. I know the clock and the calendar and everything tells us. Copernicus is telling us, look that one up, that it is April 3rd, but it feels like November. But that doesn't mean that your mortgage market and real estate market isn't hot out there.
Yeah, absolutely not. As you already know, I pretty much spent the entire day outside the office yesterday, mostly with agents, getting the finger for what's going on. And it's almost like somebody flipped a switch and everyone's raring to go and they're ready to find their home. So, and we kind of predicted this. This isn't news. We kept saying it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You're going to miss out. Don't wait till April. And sure enough, it happened. So, yeah, we're definitely busy.
Yeah, we kind of warned everybody that, people are, they're not people, they're sheeple. Okay. So as soon as spring comes, everybody's running out there. You were at a home buying seminar. You and Becky Alley gave a home buying seminar last week with a bunch of realtor partners. What was the mood? What was the vibe? What was going on?
Yeah, so that was expressly about MSHDA. And we actually got a lot of great information. The realtors got some amazing information. And they're super excited to have a better understanding of how the MSHDA program works with and without down payment assistance. And a lot of them have never used it before. They were trepidatious. They heard about long lead times in the past and everything else. And MSHDA's really stepped up. They've pretty much doubled their underwriting staff. Right now, they're on a same-day turn time. So when you submit something to MSHDA, you're going to get a response same day at the moment. So, there's no need to shy away from that just because of, maybe previous misconceptions about how that program works.
Yeah, you say for the time being or right now they're on same day. It can go as long as a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
It could go as long as a couple of weeks, right?
I will say that the official word is because they've literally staffed up. They hope that it doesn't exceed 3 to 4 days. Because they have doubled their underwriting staff. But yes, in the past, like last year, having 3.5 weeks for that underwrite was not uncommon. But their goal this year is to keep it about 3 days.
Yeah, and without belaboring it anymore, we can talk about MSHDA at the end of our little podcast today. But MSHDA is very easy to understand. The rates are lower, but there are income requirements. There is a down payment assistance part of MSHDA, but you don't have to take it. And you could just get a lower rate. But Lisa, you're really good at that. You're really good at informing the general public on what's going on with MSHDA. And we appreciate you out there giving an educational seminar to all the agents and taking part in that. So thank you for that. Mr. John Kolb, what's going on in your loan world?
Oh, a little bit of everything. Like you said, busy. We've got a lot of pre-approvals out there. We got some purchases starting to hit. It's all about good communication. I've found that if you get it in communication with the listing agent, just give them some sound information on what your buyer is able to do and what they're not able to do. Explain your approval letter. Explain why it might be 5% down versus 10% down because of an appraisal guarantee. They really like to know that we are in the know about the clients and that we are, you just don't call up and say, oh, I don't know anything about that client. Let me pass you off to headset Jackie number 2. We're in the know. You can call me on my cell phone on Saturday, Sunday, and you'll get some information about a client if you've got any information about wanting to accept that offer. So all good things. We just wanted to stay busy and keep rolling.
There you go. Mr. Harvey Freed, what's going on in your loan world?
I'm proud to say that when we started in the industry and when we started communicating, I've been around for 32 years, but when we started the radio show first here 24 years ago on the radio to the masses, to people that wanted to hear about what's a mortgage all about, we were stressing education. I mean, this is nothing new. I wanted just a little quick update to tell the people putting their podcast together and their seminars. It's nothing new, and we didn't invent it either. But we've been striving and pushing people towards this education piece because that is really the key to home ownership. And the clients that are most successful have all the facts and knowledge behind them. So they understand today's marketplace. And if they don't understand it, we're constantly feeding them that information. The lack of inventory is competing offers, escalation clauses. All of those words and those fancy words are truly in play for the spring of 2024. Get educated, get approved, and have that knowledge behind you so you can make quick decisions.
Well, the whole theme of the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business podcast, as well as the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business radio show, heard every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 on 97.1 FM, the best sports station in the country, in my opinion, was to bring the general public, consumers out there, really the hardcore truth and give them hardcore advice. We give hardcore answers to hardcore questions. And right now for spring, yeah, it's allegedly spring here in Michigan. Hardcore fact number one, there will be no significant pickup in home inventory, panel. It's just not. We need, as a panel, as a lender, as people that like to go and tell the consumers the truth, because many lenders, and frankly, many lenders don't do that. We need to keep reinforcing that this year there is going to be no significant pickup in home inventory. And that's just really highlighting the facts. The need for all of this is the pre-approval process needs to be so tight. So when the clients do get an offer accepted, it's a plug and play situation. We've already run the underwriter AUS system. We've already verified their funds to close. And on purchases, that's the single biggest thing is where's the money coming from for the down payment and the closing costs. That's the single biggest thing. So Lisa, I'm here to tell you, fact number one this morning for spring, yeah, it's allegedly spring, you heard me say it is, there will be no significant pickup in home inventory. Keyword is significant.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think a lot of people too, and I hate to use the word fear, but they have a fear of the unknown and they don't really know what's going on. And there's a lot of information out there about what to expect. Some people are saying rates are going up. Some, Freddie's saying rates are going down and Fannie's saying they're going up. I mean, there's just so much, I don't want to say confusion, that I think sometimes people just freeze, right? And so they're doing a wait and see. They're happy with their payment. They've already got a great rate. Their home meets their needs. So they're going to hold off for a little bit longer. And when people do that, it kind of creates gridlock. And then obviously people aren't selling their homes. You only really sell if you have a true need. So, I think that's absolutely accurate.
Yeah. How about you, John? What are you thinking about that? There is no significant pickup in inventory this spring and summer.
I mean, unfortunately, I read an article this morning that said that the older generation is holding onto their homes. They're not looking to move. Where in many years past, it was, okay, let's downsize and move and maybe go from a 2-story to a ranch to help better our position on getting around the house easier. But like you said, there's no inventory out there, so these people do not want to move. And they don't want to make a drastic downsize or drastic change where it's just going to cost them the same amount of money on each and every month because of the interest rates. I mean, it was a great thing in 2000, 2001, 2002 when interest rates were at 2%, 3%, but now it's coming back to bite us in the butt. People just don't want to move. They don't see the benefit in going from a $500,000 mortgage down to a $250,000 mortgage and only saving $100 a month, because of the interest rate difference, where taxes are, values of properties. So we're kind of in a catch-22. We're just going to have to keep playing the game, rolling the dice and making sure that we're putting people in good positions. But at some point, people are going to have to move or they're going to die and houses are going to become available.
Well, that is true. Harvey Freed, average down payments are at an all-time high. That's no secret and that's no mystery. The reason why down payments are at an all-time high is what? Home prices are at an all-time high. So the dollars and cents of it is that people are going to have to come up with more money. And with home prices increasing every year, the average down payment will continue to increase as well. Further proof of where we need to verify the money is coming from for these buyers. Can't be mattress money, You can get a gift, but you got to prove where you get a gift, Harvey. I'll say it till this is nothing new. You got to take the transaction and go from the back to the front. First question, Harvey, when somebody comes to you and they say they want to buy a house, you always say, how much money do you have to put down, correct?
Yeah, how much money are you working with? Exactly. What's the total amount you're working with? Well, here you summed it up nicely. Maybe a little bit more equity from the sale of their current house, but as family expansion is really one of the reasons why that's opening up some inventory. There's two little inventory pieces there. Family expansion, they're just completely outgrown, young couples living together. Now they're going to have a baby or two or start having a family. They need a larger house, and they might want to also get out of that condominium situation into a home with subdivision, with other neighbors that they get to know, younger kids in the neighborhoods near the elementary school, that kind of thing. Also, yeah, a client, it's a hard pill to swallow this morning, speaking to a client, 1.99% I got him during the pandemic on his house in the middle of the state. But again, his family, his daughter had a baby and they want to move closer to the family. So you can hang on to that 1.99% as long as you can if you're going to stay there. But if you've got kids 2 hours away and you want to be with your grandchildren, you're selling your house and now you're looking to move here in the Metro Detroit area.
That's excellent. So point number 3 on the we need to keep reinforcing the facts. Point number 3 is for spring and summer and the foreseeable future. Lisa Lawson, home prices, as we talked about, will not be coming down. Got to reinforce that with our buyers, because waiting, our buyers, any buyer for that matter, that is waiting, it's costing them money. The average home price from this year to next year is going to go up close to 10% in 2025. So just do the math. If it's a $200,000 house, it's going to be $220,000 next year. And rents are going up as well, Lisa.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this has been the problem for the past few years. Everyone's like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till things kind of calm down and the price isn't so high. And these are the people that waited in 2020 and 21, 22. And you've heard me say this many times. And now they're kicking themselves, because when you wait, you lose out on the opportunity to build equity. So the people who waited the past 3 years could have bought in 20 for a much lower price. They've already been paying the payment for 3 years. That home is going to be worth significantly more. And if something happened, they could tap into equity. They could have maybe dropped PMI at this point, or there's a million other things, and they're just missing out. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. If you need a home,
it does not make sense.
Yeah, if you need a home and you want a home, you should be buying a home.
That's always true. And we like
Pretty
to go
basic.
back, and Lisa, we like to go back, and John and Harvey, we like to go back and say, hey, listen, I remember when rates were at 18%. My first home, it was at 12 3/4. There was a lot of houses on the market at that point in time. The market is just different. But what has changed is the perspective. When you go from a 2 or 3 or 4% rate to a 7.5% rate, your thought process is a little clouded. When you really should be, John, taking a look at the math. If the math works for you, then it works for you. And it's got to be within your budget. And also on the refinance transactions, we're now seeing, believe it or not, because people are used to now seeing 7.5% interest rates all over the world, especially in the United States, which, by the way, we're lower here than the rest of the world. 7.5% interest rate is still less than 18 to 22% credit card debt, right, John?
I mean, you couldn't have teed this up any better. I just had a phone call with a client yesterday, and he took our app, filled everything out, said he wanted to buy a house for 20% down, pulled the credit. The guy is maxed out on 12, 13 different credit cards. Payments on those, minimum payments on those credit cards are $1,200. I said, okay, I've got a better, and he was going to take a loan from his 401k to be able to bring the 20% to closing. I said, I've got a better idea for you. Let's take the same amount from the 401k, use half of that money to pay off this credit card debt, and the other half to put 10% down instead of 20% down. I said, you're going to qualify for more. You're going to save more. He didn't like the math because he thought the house payment for a $200,000 home in Farmington Hills was going to be somewhere around $1,750 a month with taxes and insurance and PMI and everything included. I said, okay, what are you going to rent right now? He said, I'm going to rent something for $1,100. I said, perfect. I said, your current debt is $1,200 a month plus $1,100. That's $2,300 a month. I'm getting you in for $1,750 and getting rid of all that debt for you. How is this not better?
He couldn't see it. He couldn't see it.
You mean you didn't
That's
get
fine.
John? You didn't get the proverbial oh.
Nope. He couldn't see it.
You
He
didn't
couldn't
get
see
that.
it. He thinks that over this next year, he's going to be able to pay off all his credit card debt. He's going to rent this house. Then next year, he's going to come back. Interest rates are going to be better. And he will have all his debt paid off. And he'll have, then he can take his 401k loan, put the 20% down, and everything will be better for him. I said, you know what? In a perfect world, you're right. That might happen. But odds are the house is going to be 10% more expensive next year. Right. Interest rates aren't going to be that much better. And you're still going to be paying a lot more. Now you're paying more for the same house, and you just now wasted a year worth of saving money. But like I said, I put in the calendar to give him a call in the middle of January next year, because I can only lead him to water. I can't make him drink, and I can't fix stupid either.
And you can't, hey John, but you can turn water into wine, can't you?
I drink a lot of water every night, Harry.
that purple water is really doing a lot for you, isn't it?
It helps me ease the pain of the day.
Hey, there's no question. Lots to say about that. Hey, Harvey, how about our buddy John Kolb? John Kolb read the article in Scotsman's Guide yesterday. He read it today, but it came out yesterday saying 78% of baby boomers plan to age in place. That means they ain't moving. Almost 8 out of 10 boomers, that would be my age, are going to stay there. I get it. We need to reinforce fact number 4, that boomers are not interested in moving from their low rate mortgage and downsizing to a higher rate mortgage. Okay, they're not interested. Some of the reasons, Harvey, they can sell their existing home and cash out. However, where are they going to live? All right, are they going to go ahead, as John said, and buy trade down to trade up on a payment? No. Do they want to rent a smaller apartment? Probably not, because we got a lot of stuff. When you live in a house for 30 years, you got a lot of stuff. Where's that stuff going? Okay. Also, most of all, Harvey, boomers like their homes and have no incentive to move. So therein lies the rub. Almost 8 out of 10, 78% of boomers say, hey, man, I'm not moving.
Well, Harry, if I don't hit the $1 billion or the $1 million lottery tonight, I'm not moving either. Nancy and I joke all the time, they're going to have to carry us out in stretchers. And there might be a black limousine outside with the stretcher. So, yeah, most people, they like where they're at. They like their interest rate. There's a lot of positives. Working out at the new construction site where we're selling some ranch condos with upstairs lofts, there is a need, though. There's a need for convenience. Downsizing plays other factors, too. Downsizing to a new community where you're going to meet people of your age, to a nicer area where there's parks and water, and there are different amenities that could work for you later in life. These old folks' homes are not, they're not my favorite place to go to, Harry. And more families as we get older, they don't see themselves, living there forever. So maybe downsizing to a ranch could make some sense for some families. But yeah, that's just the inventory problem continuously is stacking up. That's why I mentioned earlier in this little conversation, other reasons why people are moving is to move closer to their family members. So as we get closer to retiring, there are a good amount of soon-to-be empty nesters that are retiring, and now they don't need to be in a certain location. And maybe those folks will sell, leave those great rates behind, and go get a house that fits their needs.
Well, what's going to happen is, and I'm going to go over this with Lisa, but I want you guys to take note of this as well. If you do the math backwards, and I'm big on doing the math backwards, if a baby boomer, or you got to look at the general population, I believe, Harvey, John, Lisa, this is a temporary situation of boomers not wanting to move. And let me do the math with you. Okay, if you're 65 years old, the quality, and let's just say the over-under is 85. Okay, so if you're 65 and the average lifespan, you got another 20 years to live. The quality of your life between 65 and 75 is probably going to be better than from 75 to 85. So the need for a 65 to 75-year-old to move out of their current situation, God forbid, all things being equal, health-wise and everything like that, they don't have that need unless something goes wrong. But at 75 to 85, they might want to be or need to be in an assisted living facility. They might need to downsize. They might need to have continual care or some kind of care at a facility. So Harvey, Lisa, John, if you're a 65-year-old boomer, you're looking at yourself and you're saying, maybe right now, you know what, I don't need to move. But maybe when they hit 70, 75, they're going to move. So I look at this glut. Let's just say there are a bunch of boomers out there that aren't going to move. They have no plans to move, but life circumstances, all of a sudden life gets in the way and it might dictate a move. I believe this is temporary. I believe that it's probably has a 5-year cycle on it. And then it gets back to normal because let's face it, you do the math and there's an aging population. The aging population, I can't believe I'm talking like this on a podcast, that the aging population, they're going to have a need to move out of those homes. And therefore, there will be a backfill of buyers coming in. The millennials are coming by. This cycle, it's easy to figure out, Lisa, why is this cycle taking longer? Because before the millennials, the baby boomers were the dominant population. So there you go. I just solved it for everybody. Nobody else talked like that. I've never heard anybody put it that way. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
help me help you.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And my mom is living proof. Love my mom. She's in her early 70s. And we've had conversations many times like, do you think we want to downsize to a condo? You don't want to maintain anything? She's like, nope. And she literally told me, she's like, I am not leaving. I don't want to leave. If I can stay here 10 more years, that's my goal. And there's so many services. And even now they make it easier, right? Everything's on an app. You need your snow shovel, there's an app. You need your lawn cut, there's an app. So, a lot of them have found different ways to stay in place and get, household maintenance and things done. So I think that is a little bit more not common. Now, my mom doesn't have a mortgage, but her whole thing is, even if I sell the house, what can I get with the cash? Like what's out there? And with the housing shortage, she doesn't even want to mess with it. There's just not a lot of choices out there and slim pickings and, why even put herself out there? So no, I don't disagree with you. I think that's definitely going to be an issue for the next few years.
I agree. Your mom's a smart woman. She gets it. She's practical and very pragmatic about it. Mr. John Kolb, your mom and dad are living the life, aren't they? In the Carolinas, they're living it. But then here's the best part, John. They come back for the summer and hang out with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's college down there for them. I call them on a Monday afternoon at 3:00. And they're doing a progressive between the houses in their neighborhood. I don't know what's going on. I feel like the parent now saying, hey, make sure you get a safe ride home, but everybody's in golf carts, so it's all okay. Yeah, it's great. Harry, what I heard you say is that all old people should be in a nursing home, and so I'm going to just say that you just can't stand the old people, but it's okay, buddy. You'll be there soon. Yeah, it's one of those things where we have to just keep informing people on what's going on in the world, how to better their situations, and hopefully they can listen.
Hey, John, that's the nicest compliment you've ever given me. You said I'll be there soon. Other times you say I'm already there. So I really appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Hey, Harvey Freed, what's going on the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show this weekend?
Yes, thank you. We have Evan Santini coming on. Of course, we were off last Saturday for the Easter holiday, and hope everyone comes back and joins us Saturday morning, 9 a.m. in the morning. Evan Santini, Anthony John Luxury Real Estate. You might be bringing on someone else from the office. We were trying to get Anthony to come on too. We'll see if he's going to make it. But always 1 hour of great information, 97.1. Don't miss it.
Hey, that's great. The Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show heard every Saturday morning, 9 to 10 a.m. on, again, 97.1 FM. Produced and directed, like the podcast, by Roberto Beauchene. He's our producer-director in the booth right now. We're going to go to last words of the day so then Roberto can get us out of here and everybody can have their day back. Lisa Lawson, last words of the day.
Stay warm. I know it's a little cool out for spring, but don't let that discourage you. And if you're in the market and you're looking for a house, get out there. Sometimes the rainy weather is the best time to find the perfect house.
There you go. John Kolb.
Yeah, I follow Lisa, and it's everything I want to say. That so just whatever Lisa just said, yes, ditto. I agree. Get out there. Let's find some homes and let us get you informed on the best way to save you money.
There you go. Harvey Freed, last words. Then I get to follow Harvey, guys.
Oh yeah, stop clicking buttons. Yeah, the button clickers out there, they're clicking these places called Zillow and stuff. Zillow sells your name and number to the highest bidder. The highest bidder isn't the most educated real estate agent. You pay for what you get. You're not gonna start a great process by clicking buttons. Get off of Zillow, call, get your pre-approval, work with a great experienced lender that can refer you to the great experienced real estate agents. That's real key.
Well, listen, I appreciate you, panel. Lisa, John, Harvey, of course, Roberto, producing and directing. It is Wednesday, April 3rd. It does feel like November out there. I put the heavy coat on this morning when I went out and walked the dog. I'm sure everybody is really concerned about my health. But anyways, it goes something like this. The hardcore fact number one, spring is here. Significant home inventory pickup, not going to happen. That's number one. Number two, down payments must be verified. You got to know where the money's coming from. Down payments are at the all-time high. That's number two. Number three, for spring and summer and foreseeable future, everybody out there, home prices are not, I repeat, not coming down. And number four, if you picked up anything here today, John Kolb did not call me old this morning, but 78% of baby boomers say that they are going to age in place in their home. I think it's going to be a 5-year cycle. I see you're going to see inventory pickup on the boomer side in 5 years as they start aging gracefully and upward. So what do you take away from today? You take away from today is just get your ducks in a row. All your documents got to be verified. We got to know where the money's coming from. Again, nothing new, but I'm telling you here, if anybody tells you that rates are coming down, home prices are coming down, and there's going to be a lot more inventory, they're just ill-advising you. That's what I can tell you. Anyways, for John Kolb, Lisa Lawson, Harvey Freed, Roberto Beauchesne in the booth, my name is Harry Glanz. This is the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Podcast for an April 3rd. We'll see you soon.